Already facing the challenge, the SCRS loud, Armera Arsenal, reinforced locks, and weaker Medkits. It's Armera Arsenal, which is quite simple. It doesn't really matter all that much. That's really all there is to it. But aside from that, there's weaker Medkits, which generally isn't really all that much of a detriment. I mean, if we have extra Medkits, we'll gladly take it and we'll gladly use it, and that's really all there is to it. So we're just gonna go over here. How unfortunate. So instead we're just gonna wait over here, and it's not like it really matters at all, but it is reinforced locked, which means that we could just use a breaching charge, and that's generally a good thing, so we're gonna do exactly that. We're gonna wait over here. And then we'll start a hammerlock over there before we go through here, which so far is still relatively simple. It's just that we still don't want to meet any guards, which for a start, if I could just not get shot by the guard behind that, well, window over there, that would be quite nice, but we're gonna go over here. And then we're just going to not do anything because, well, quite simply, we don't really want any Aegis units to be running over there with Armera Arsenal because, quite shockingly, Aegis units are probably not the best at shooting at in terms of trying to actually down the Aegis unit. For hopefully a lot of obvious reasons, but right now seems like a great time, so we're just gonna go over here. And then we'll just start it right on now, and hopefully we won't have the Aegis unit running over there because that would be quite bad, so for a start, we'll just go over here. Try and exchange shots over there for perfect. So now that everything's essentially resolved, or at least the main threat's resolved, we'll just get rid of here. And then hopefully weaker Medkits will serve us well. For the most part, because then again, weaker Medkits is still not all that great for instantaneously trying to be alive, but then again, in the long term, it's generally not all that bad, so we're just gonna wait over here, try and watch Cyber's back by doing exactly that. Throw a few more bullets that we probably needed, but then afterwards just keep everything good, so now that we're done with that, we're just going to slowly contemplate, I guess I'm going to run across over here, which seems to be right around now, so we're just going to do exactly that before we go over here. Breach just over here, and hopefully not get any units over here, because that would be quite bad, so speaking of which, let's try to not have Cyber be dead from that one unit over there. And then we'll just wait over here, because that seems like the generally right call, but I still do want that FI7 for hopefully rather obvious reasons. So now that we're done with that, we're just going to search this over here. Flip this door outwards, and then afterwards, well, presumably Cyber's going to be showing up right behind us, which seems to be precisely what's happening, which is why we're going to be right over here. And then afterwards just staying. I mean, that's one solution. And it certainly works, so we're just gonna go with exactly that, which, I mean, sure. But what we do want to do right now is just go right over there, take care of you over there, and then take care of you over there. It's not necessary, it's not really all that important, but it seems like roughly the right call, so that we will have a slightly better time later on, which, just saying, if Cyber could return over here, that would be quite nice, so that we could subsequently stay alive. Perfect. So now that we are in a slightly better state for not getting shot all that many times, hello there. Let's just stay alive. And ignore those units over there, because that is most definitely one valid solution. So, as we do this over here, we're just going to quickly drop the saw blade just so that we can get a free ammunition that we very, very much do not need, but really? Right then, we'll quickly solve that before we go through here, or at least try and go through there, because that's most definitely not a valid option. So now that the units are hopefully clearing up, we're just going to go right through here, and hopefully we will meet more units. Speaking of which, we're just going to go right through here, and hopefully the units don't run after us, because that's essentially the only thing that could possibly ever happen right now. But we'll go over here, hopefully not any units behind, and then we're just going to go over here. And then we'll just start a hack over here. And then the hope is that we don't get the door, well, knocked in on us, because that would be quite bad, so as we go over here, we'll just, hi there. Unfortunately, we clearly can't check that right now, which is a bit of a shame, but that's really all there is to it. So as we quickly intercept that, we're just going to go over here, reconnect that, and, well, you're clearly not going to hit your shots, which, I mean, sure, we will gladly take that. And now we'll hope that this actually gets breached, because that's kind of what we want right now. So we could always try and go over here, bypass this, and hope for the best. It's not strictly any good advice, but I don't think I'm getting hit from the back anytime soon, because there was Cyber right over there, and they will probably shoot at Cyber before they shoot at me. Mainly because there's a bit of walking in between, but regardless, we're gonna go over here. It is not the armory, and we are not venturing any further, which is also why we're gonna go right over here. But before that, we will drop a medkit right over here, because that's probably the right thing to do at this point, so we'll do just that. Quickly back away over here so that we don't, well, die. And then afterwards, we'll try and do our best to take care of those units, which right now seems like a great time to go inside, which is what Cyber's going to do right around now, and then we'll deal with the gunship that's showing up relatively soon. And all in all, I suppose the hope is that we don't have any units behind us. Which so far is going great, except for you over there, which, well, I mean, that's one stellar shot, but we'll do that. Unfortunately. Really? Right then. But wait a bit then, and then afterwards we'll do this. It's the same thing, it's just a slightly different path, and as for you over there, we should probably heal up right around now so that we can actually take advantage of weaker medkits without waiting all that long, so right now, we will throw a few hundred bullets that way. Generally hope for the best. That was probably not the most advisable. And then we'll go through here, which, you know, Cyber could follow along would be quite nice. But that's a daily challenge in just under 6 minutes and 40 seconds. And as for the unit over there, well, that's a bit too late. But regardless, cheers everyone, have a great time.